Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Train for 1 minute war and war like general. Prefer our leaders can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
I really see prophets under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Round with Yara down, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
I don't give a love to fuck about what them bitches got.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, and this and that for life. I'm on rest for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a clash for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I'll tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, send a curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a damn sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind friend. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like bad pal, but ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that offense a Dundee. Try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, then it's death do us part. Look. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the like you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it. I pity those watching life as it goes by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, it's all I don't. Either fold or salute, my nigga. Salute, my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told him I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. Now I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she need me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah.
killed. Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said, Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood cell. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback to bitch in the dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Let's go ahead and clap it up. Yesterday we had scripture breakdown class. We had a couple of people in the chat and people in the room where they had some questions, and so we're going to get into those questions today. Make sure that we give the people what they need. Before I get started, are there any questions in the chat or any questions in the room? Shalom says, how you doing?
Wonderful.
All right.
I wanted to know, is the lost sheep and where it talks about another fold I must bring in. Is that two different people?
That's an excellent question. That's a great question. We can definitely get into that. First, let me get Ezekiel 34. And actually, let's go to the scripture she's talking about. If anybody knows, can get that sheep of another fold. I want to say that's in John. I think he said 10 and 16.
Okay.
But go up 2 verses above that, please.
Okay, sir. This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 14. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine.
Right. Keep reading.
Khan, verse 15. As a father knoweth me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep.
Go ahead.
Khan, verse 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring.
Right.
And they shall hear my voice.
Right.
And there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Right. So let's so we can help everybody to understand what this is talking about. Let's bring up the definition of fold or sheepfold. That's what you want to put in when you look up the definition. What is a sheepfold? And then we're gonna get into we're gonna get into actually what Christ was talking about, because everything Christ said, he didn't speak of himself. He was speaking either what the Most High told him, what the prophets told him. He never, he never came out of it. He never brought anything that was new. If that makes sense. Okay.
I have the definition.
Go ahead.
Khan, sheepfold, a pen or a shelter for sheep.
So, sis, do you hear the definition? Did you put it on the screen for everybody to see? Whenever you pull up anything like that on the net, you make sure that.
Khan, sir.
Thank the water. So, did you hear what the definition of fold was? Okay, go ahead, Art.
Khan. You reading on the verse?
No, she wants to hear the definition of fold again.
Sheepfold, a pen or shelter for sheep.
It's a pen or shelter for sheep, right? So it's the place where a shepherd, right, would keep the sheep at to protect them and to feed them, right? So Christ is saying that I have sheep that are of another fold, which means that he would have sheep that he's responsible for, but that are not here. You okay? So now to understand this, we have to go into, we're going to go into Ezekiel, because the only way to understand what Christ is saying is go into what the prophet said. Because like he said in Matthew, I'm paraphrasing, he didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets, but to fulfill it. So everything the prophets said prior, Christ is coming to bring that, to bring that into fulfillment, right? So let's go to Ezekiel 34.
It's the book of Ezekiel.
Hold on 1 second. Let me find a particular verse, because I just want to make it quick. I don't want to go too long. Let me see. Let's start at try to find a particular. All right, I want you to start at verse man. Well, I guess we're going to start at verse 1.
Hold on, sir. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 2, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Who would the shepherds of Israel represent? No, this isn't Ezekiel's time. There wasn't no Pharisees. Okay. What do you think the sheep represent? Clearly, he's not talking about, right, you said what? People. So then who would the shepherds represent? What's a shepherd's job, though? So then who would the shepherds be then? The who? I help. Go ahead, I'm sorry. The leaders. The leaders, right? So you have the people and you have the leaders that lead the people. Like we have an American government, right? And then we have the American citizens. So the government's job is to make sure that the people have food and that they're protected. That's a government's job. So read that verse again.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34 and verse 2. Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
He said to prophesy against them. So the Lord, it appears that the Lord is taking issue with the leaders of his people, right? Okay, keep reading.
Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks?
Right. So the Lord is bringing an indictment against, or a charge against, the leaders of his people, right? Because he's observing them. He's like, you guys are feeding, you're basically benefiting off of the people. They're not benefiting off of your leadership. Your job is to feed and protect them, but you're using them to feed yourself, right? And that's something that we could compare to Christian pastors, right? We have nice cars, nice houses, private jets. Your job is to feed the people, but you're using them to feed you. And that's something that you could clearly see that the Lord is against, because he said, woe. Do you know what woe means? What does that mean? Give her a hand. No, give her a hand. That's a fact. Woe is not good. Actually, the word woe is Old English for death or destruction. So the Lord's saying death is going to come to you because you fed yourself and you did not feed the people, right? Let me see if I want more on that. Just go, drop down to 4.
Verse 4. The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick.
This sounds like today what we say the Christian church is. People are sick. They're dealing with mental health issues. They're dealing with addiction issues. They're dealing with actual physical ailments. And the Christian church is more like, sow that seed and pray, you should survive off of hope and a prayer. But nobody's actually seeing people be made whole and healed from what the Christian church provides. And this was also what was going on in the nation of Israel. The leaders were not taking care of the people that needed the help. And that was the job, right? Keep reading.
Neither have they bound up that which was broken. Neither have ye brought again that which was driven away.
How do we know that this is true, that this is what the Christian church is doing? Is because, like in Houston, Officer Aban, you would have to remind me about, I think it was Hurricane Harvey in Texas, and it was flooded. The city of Houston was flooded in some areas of Texas, Galveston, I believe, areas like that. And there was a large Christian church. It was Joel Osteen. I don't know the name of the facility. I believe it's like a coliseum, because they lease it out to sports teams and things like that. Did he purchase it from the city? And it used to be for sports, or Lakewood Church, Christian Church. And it's a mic too for you to speak so that everybody can hear you. You two are. So it was a very large building. I think it could house maybe up to like 12,000 people, maybe even more. I could be just underestimating it. But during the hurricane, Commander General Yohana sent out his men, and they went and brought food, water to people that were getting flooded out of their homes, and providing them a place to come for protection. While Lakewood Christian Church, Joel Osteen, locked their doors, but they are open on Sundays to receive all the tithes, all the offerings. But when people actually needed help, an ark, a place to have refuge from the waters and the rain, the doors were locked. And like Captain Kahan Yad always says, that the doors of the church are closed. They're open to take, but they're closed to give with that which is needed. You understand what I'm saying, sis? And this is the prophet Ezekiel on behalf of the Most High condemning the leadership, the men who were in charge of our nation, for having the same spirit, for doing the same thing. But he's using the analogy of sheep to talk about leaders and how they deal with the people. It's the same thing that's going on right now with Donald Trump, right? The American government. But prior to this, if you were on welfare and SNAP benefits, even though the largest recipients of welfare and SNAP are non-Hispanic whites, right? I think it's up to 37% of those that are on welfare and SNAP benefits are non-Hispanic white Caucasians, right? But now he said he's reducing the coverage for children, where it used to be up to the age of 18. Now it's down to the age of 7. After 7, there's no more assistance for you and your family. So in essence, he doesn't want to feed children, but he wants to take Venezuela and take their oil and set up billionaire oil companies in Venezuela to make sure that he and all his friends feed themselves. So this is a culture of bad leadership. You understand? But the heathens, that's what they do. Christ even said it. I'm gonna paraphrase it, but Christ made a statement too, where he said that he was talking about the new government, the men that he was raising up, and what they needed, how they needed to deal with the people, and the type of awareness and sensitivity that they needed to have for the care of the people, right, and for their brothers. He said the rulers of the heathens, they are called benefactors, meaning that the people that they rule over, they rule over them for their benefit. But he said, with you, not so. For ye are all brethren, and the greatest that is amongst you should be a servant. I'm paraphrasing it, right? Meaning that if you get put in a position of leadership, right, your job is to be mindful of what the people need and give everything that you have to serve them. So the power that you have is in service to your people. Does that make sense? Okay. But so now you have Israelites behaving like heathens. But the problem is that since we live in a multicultural society, people think now that, race doesn't matter, religion doesn't matter. We're all living together. We should all just figure it out and work together, right? But at this time, things were more clear. You didn't go into Canaan and you had a whole bunch of different people. You had Canaanites. And if you were a different nation, you were subject to that nation's rules. And really, even though, I'm saying that things are different, they're not different. We're here in America, and it's the same thing. Certain Americans, like there's a movie, I can't think of the name of the movie. I think it was called Civil War or something like that. And these reporters were out because there was a civil war going on in America, and they were traveling down the road, and a dude comes out with like some militiamen, and he points guns at them, and they said, hold on, chill, stop. We're Americans, right? And the dude has the gun. He said, okay, what kind of Americans? He said, what kind of Americans? You understand? Because you got some people say, if you're a liberal American, you're not really an American. Because, and you're seeing it right now with what Trump is doing with this how he's what's the word? He's reframing the Civil Rights Act. He's saying the Civil Rights Act really was bad for white men and white people, that it put them in a position to be discriminated against. When historically, that was never how we were taught about the Civil Rights Act. It was for the benefit of black people who had been marginalized, oppressed, right, and not given the same access as everybody else was to the things, to the benefits of America. Right. But now he's saying that it harmed white Americans, that it discriminates. By you trying to protect Latinos and Negroes. Now you're discriminating against white people. So that should tell you that even though we've said it all the time, we've been saying this since 1969, that the thing that people celebrate, the independence of America, July 4th, or the writing of the Constitution, the founding fathers, that when they wrote that document, they were not talking about Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. How do we know that? Because when they got here, they massacred and unalived over 70 million Native Indians. They unalived over 99 million Negroes through the transatlantic slave trade, and then enslaved them on plantations and had them working for free labor for over 400 years. And then they went to war with Latinos in Mexico, right? Also the Spaniards, who were really, Spanish-speaking white people, but they went against Native Indians, who you call today so-called Mexicans and Latinos, Aztecs, Olmecs, Incas, Mayans, right? People like Christopher Columbus, and they massacred them. So when they wrote the Constitution, they weren't talking about the people that they had robbed, sexually assaulted, and pillaged. They were talking about their people. You understand? So the Constitution, when it says all men are created equal, because we're a compassionate people and we see things universally, we'll say, oh, that means everybody. But they knew full well that they weren't talking to everybody. The problem is that we can't do that with the Bible, right? Christ, give me, we're going to come back to this. Actually, no, you give it to me, Aban or Kahanga Bar, Matthew 15 and 24. Because Christ is going to identify who his sheep are. You understand? We're consistently looking for it to be somebody else when he's saying it plainly. When people say, well, look, the Bible says that it's all men can be saved. Well, the Constitution said that all men were created equal. There's context to all, right? If I say, listen, man, all brothers and sisters can come into this building. What do I mean, sis? Get the mic. What do I mean? She got a bar. Oh, you gonna leave me hanging and not answer? Well, all right, I'll ask somebody else then. What does that mean when I say all men? No, that stays with you. Now you got strength. About anybody? Anybody?
It mean all white men
can come in here.
Oh, you talking about?
Wow.
Like,
I said all men can come in this building. What does that mean? I guess
men of Israel.
I don't know. We need some smelling salts or something. I don't know what's going on right now.
It's talking about black Hispanics and then American men.
Lord, man, you know what I mean? Brother's wrapped up in the cave and good night. I'm sorry. I say it again.
It's talking about all blacks, Hispanics, Native American men.
Right. But I'm not going to say that we say it every single time to let everybody know what our stance is. But if I say, yeah, all brothers and sisters can come in here, that doesn't mean every nation. The people that are on that list, the 12 tribes, that's who has the ability to have sanctuary here. And really, I'm going to be honest, Donald Trump is moving in that spirit. That's why he's deporting other nationalities. And you see the Somalis, these Somalis are really a disgusting people. Yeah, like they're disgusting people. There are so many videos, and Yahaj could pull it up. You ain't got to do it. But there's so many videos of the Somalis saying how they're not black. I'm not black. We're not black. And then in the moment they get oppressed by the dragon, by Donald Trump, now it's, he wants to choose to oppress and be racist against black Americans. Now you want to be black when the oppression comes. But you're not black because you don't want to be associated with us who have been dealing with this same dragon, this same devil for over 500 years. Right? But that's the thing. Like, people really thought that they could buy a white card. That's what everybody tries to do. You have some Latinos, because they have fair skin, they'll try to pass for white, and they'll champion the MAGA movement. Like, there's a story about there's this guy from Sudan. He's a podcaster, and he went to a MAGA event, and he champions. He says, "Yeah, we're guests here, man. This is their country. You know, I'm Muslim. This is a Christian country." And he goes to the event. There's a Turning Point MAGA event, and they wouldn't even let him come in. And he's just standing there like looking stupid. He's on the radio and on the internet every day championing Trump and the MAGA movement, right? And even this dude, Andrew Tate, his father is a black man. He was a CIA officer, a champion chess player. And he's championing what Trump is doing and the strength that they're doing it in, and who has the most power and the most might. And they don't even consider him to be white. And their goal is to get everybody out. Alex Jones. I don't know if y'all saw this interview. Alex Jones did an interview. Did y'all see recently what happened to that one? He was one of the January 6 rioters, and he was in Minnesota, and they were all attacking him, right? In a black. Give me that video. Give me the video of that brother trying to protect this openly white supremacist nationalist. The brother is blocking all the white people from trying. It's white people trying to get at him, not black people. They're trying to tear this dude apart. And the brother is like the only thing holding them back. And while he's trying to protect him, the dude is kicking him. Like, get off of me, man. Like, I don't need your help. Get away from me. The brother fights past him, kicking him, and covers him and walks him through the crowd. And look up Alex. I don't know. I don't even be able to find it. Alex Jones he's a conspiracy theorist. He's a white supremacist as well. He interviews the man. And he says, you notice how black people are waking up. You know what I'm saying? They're all coming to our side and what we're talking about. The white dude was like, first of all, you're not going to get me to virtue signal about black people. I'm not here for them. I want them all gone. He said, he's like, I'm not here for any of them. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't care what that dude did. He's like, I'm not going to forget what happened to what was the Ukrainian girl on the bus? I don't know her name. He says her name. I'm going to forget what happened to her getting assaulted and stabbed in the neck. He said, they're all like that. I don't care what he did. See, he was a man of faith. That white man who wouldn't try to make, let's all get along. He's a true believer. The problem is that our people are giving them way more credit. We're spending our time trying to save them while they're spending their time trying to destroy us. And this is what our king understood. He understood that our sheep did not have good shepherds. They had people that were willing to go to the other side to fight for them, but then leave our people exposed to harm and danger. And you can't be a shepherd if you're worried about the wolves. Are the wolves okay? Are the wolves comfortable? Let me go ahead and leave the sheep and go see about the wolves. Or can the wolves come in the fold? That's how we sound. Imagine this, sis. Moses was sent to deliver the children of Israel out of where? Egypt, right? But why though? What was Pharaoh and the Egyptians doing to the Israelites?
We were oppressed. They were oppressed.
Right. They were slaves, right?
Slaves.
And they were oppressing them. So now imagine this, sis. Imagine when Moses comes and says, look, God said we got to leave. He's telling Pharaoh, let my people go, right? Imagine an Israelite coming up to Moses saying, can the Egyptians be saved? What's Moses supposed to say? What's he supposed to say to that? The Bible says that the Israelites were crying out to the Lord for 400 years about the oppression that they were suffering. And then he sends Moses and brings plagues on Egypt. And then imagine an Israelite coming to Moses and, hey Aaron, can you let me holler at Moses real quick? Salaki, he want to talk to you. Hey, Moses, man, listen, man, I know Pharaoh was tripping. But can the Egyptians be saved too? That's how we sound. That's how we sound. But it's because we're slaves. Slaves always think about the master. Why? Because that's who feeds them. It's like a dog. You ever seen a dog that's being abused by an evil owner? That owner will beat the dog, you know what I'm saying? Leave him out there not to eat. And then when the owner finally comes out, like the dog will go 6-5 days without eating, right? You can see the ribs in the dog's bones. When the owner comes out with a little bowl of kibbles and bits, a little bit of water, that dog is like overjoyed, like, oh. He says, and you know what he thinks? You know what that dog thinks in his head? Man, my master's good. He didn't forget about me. He brought me this little bit of water, this little bit of kibbles and bits. The dog is looking for a reason to be loyal to his master, regardless of how the master is treating him. And then you have, right, dog owners who actually care about, because the Bible says that a righteous man cares for his beast. You'll have somebody come in and the dog, you know what the dog's going to do? When you try to come in and save the dog, what's the dog going to do, sis? Someone sees how that dog's being treated and they come in to arrest that owner for animal abuse, and to come and try to take the dog to give it better treatment. What's the dog going to do first?
Attack.
It's going to attack who though?
It's going to attack the one that is not the owner, the one that.
But the one that's trying to save the dog. That's why when we go out there and we teach our people, that's why we get attacked. Because it's called Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome was about people who get kidnapped, right, or held by their captors, and they develop a love for their captor. And they start to feel sorry for their captor. And they make excuses for what he's done. And so when the police come, they're like, we don't want him to go to jail. I don't want to press charges. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. That's what our people have. Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, we have that. You understand? But Christ cannot set up leaders who have Stockholm Syndrome. Christ has to replace the government with leaders whose only concern is the sheep. If you got that scripture still, Matthew 15:24, I'm going to have him read this, sis, and I'm going to get you, or you can read it, Abon. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
You know why Christ had to say that? Read it one more time.
Come. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Christ had to say that because now they're under Roman rule. You got Israelites joining the Roman military. Like, what was his name? Cornelius. It's like how we have black people. I mean, we have black people and Latinos join the military now. You have black generals, Latino generals, Native Indian lieutenants and majors, and they're loyal to America. But Cornelius was an Israelite, but he joined the Roman military. He was of the Italian band. Like how you would say now, he's of the 4th Cavalry, but it's a black man in the American army. That was Cornelius. But you had Israelites who were conforming under the Roman government. Basically, and what they called them back then was publicans. They called them publicans or tax collectors. These are people that realize, like, you know what? They're in charge. They're the ones that are in power. So I can either, if I can't beat them, then I got to what?
Join them.
Into the mic.
Join them.
Join them. So what a publican did and what a tax collector did is the Romans wanted taxes. So say your monthly tax was $300, right? Now I have to go collect this from each household in each city. You have to pay $300. That's your tribute to Rome. If they give me the job to do, because why? If they go in there, they're most likely going to get dealt with more aggression, and I don't want to lose any of my Italians, my Romans, to get hurt out there. So I'll create a job, like ICE agents, right? The majority of ICE agents are not white people. They're Latinos and black people. And they're offering these what? Bonuses to do the dirty work that they don't want to do. Because you always are going to have people that love feeding themselves more than caring for the people as a whole. So they sent in the publicans, and these were Israelites who would go like Matthew. He was a tax collector. Who was the brother Zacchaeus, the short brother who ran to the tree to see Christ? He was a tax collector. And Israelites hated them. They were looked at as like the ultimate traitors of our people. They hated them. So we had division. It was like, man, what we would call them today is a coon. You're a coon. You're a sellout. So they're knocking on the doors. Hey, you got to pay $350. What you mean? It's $300. You got to pay $350 because why? They got to get their pay for doing the work. So now they're upcharging them. They're raising the tax so they can get a profit off of it. So they looked at them as like bottom feeders. You understand? So you had this level of disloyalty. Then you had the Pharisees and Sadducees who were in league with the Romans because the Romans allowed them to rule. And they were still receiving temple tax. So now you got the Romans doing taxes. And then you got the Pharisees who run the temple getting taxes too. So the people are getting double taxed. So they're just in poverty and they're sick and they're poor and they're sinning because the Pharisees aren't teaching them about the clean and the unclean. They're not teaching them, they're not judging the violations of the commandments. And when they do it, they're doing it like crooked police. They'll arrest you, but then they go behind the scenes and do the same thing. Remember when they grabbed the woman caught in the act of adultery? So you tell me these brothers went and grabbed this woman caught in the act? How do they know where she was at? How do they know where she was at? And then you ain't see the brother get brought before the brother who she was with. Where was he at? They grabbed her. And then when Christ says, well, okay, Christ didn't say don't stone her. He just said, let he who's without sin cast the first stone. It said from the eldest to the youngest, they all left. What does that mean, sis? They were doing the same thing. They brought her to get stoned to be judged. And let's let everybody know, when Christ says judge not lest ye be judged, that's not talking about how we look at it in this present day modern cultural society. It meant to give a punishment publicly. See, today we look at judging as like, he wrong for that. Or like, she shouldn't dress like that, or she shouldn't be on that dance pole. Don't judge me. Only God can judge me. See, God's judgment was what happened to the when he flooded the earth and he unalived millions of people. God's judgment was when he brought fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah, meteors and asteroids that hit and destroyed the city. When God gives judgment, this is not a thing of like, you were wrong. You're going to know that you were wrong because you die. And the priesthood had the job of issuing out God's judgments for violating his law. So when Christ says, judge not lest ye be judged, what he really was saying is don't be a hypocrite. That's what he was saying. Because people love to tell other people what to do while they're doing the same thing. And Christ can't have those kind of leaders over the people. Because why? The leaders are wicked, and then the people never learn how to choose righteousness as opposed to wickedness. Because all they're getting is poor judgment. You understand? It's like crooked police. They go and arrest drug dealers, right? But then they take the drugs from the drug dealers and they sell them to other drug dealers to get a profit. Then they go out and arrest them again. And it's a evil cycle where there is no change brought to the community because why? You have wicked leaders, so the people remain wicked. Even though there could be a portion of the people that don't want to live that way. You understand, right? So let's keep reading. So you asked about this fold. I'm gonna show you. Go ahead and drop down to verse 6. Actually, no. Just keep reading. It says, start at verse 5. Go ahead.
Khan. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34 and verse 5. And they were scattered because there is no shepherd.
Now, see, this is what the Lord's saying. There's no shepherd, but there were shepherds. Think about this. The Lord is saying this while Martin Luther King is telling us to go and march for equal rights. He's saying they're scattered because there is no shepherd, even though there's men sitting in those offices. Like right now, who's the black leader right now? Just give me one. Anybody. Who's a black leader right now?
It's like if I could. TD Jakes.
Is he? I thought he gave it to his daughter. He handed it over to a woman.
So like, yeah.
Go ahead. Who's a black leader right now?
Salakia, right now with ICE doing what they doing, the Black Panthers that came out the woodwork.
Okay, but who are they leading?
Nobody.
They just have guns.
Right.
That's not leadership. The scripture says that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You understand? This is not a physical fight. This is a spiritual fight. Because the first fight is knowing who is your enemy and who is your family. But if you're calling your enemy family, then we got a problem. See, when you come in here, we have to renew your mind. Because if I say this is my family, like Christ said, he said, who is my father, my mother, and my brother, and my sister? Them that do the will of my Father which is in heaven. And he points to his disciples while his mother and his brothers and cousins are standing right there. He's drawing a line in the sand to let everybody know what family really is. You understand? Because what is the will of the Father? That the 12 tribes receive the promise of Abraham. That's his will. That they be in a position to where nobody can harm them. But if you got people that are fighting for the people that are trying to harm you, and they're saying, yeah, I'm your family, but they're my family too. What does that mean? That means that when the family that's our enemies, you ever see the movie Sinners? Okay, no sweat. It's a movie that got made about vampires, but it's like set up in like the old South, like the 1920s Jim Crow South. And these brothers, they some, gangsters. They came down from Chicago and, Baltimore and stuff, and they want to set up a little juke joint, right? Sell catfish and drinks and stuff like that. And you got these white people that are like running around, on the run. And in the beginning of the movie, Native Indians are chasing them, trying to take them out. But they're because they're vampires and they had harmed their village. So it's like the tribe of Gad and Reuben are trying to take these dudes out, but they hide and they come off like they're singers singing songs. But when they come to this juke joint, the people are like, nah, we don't want y'all up in here. And he's like, why not? Ain't we all family? Ain't we all friends? They was like, nah, we're good. There's a place for you up the street, not here. But their goal was to get in there because they wanted to feed on the black people in the juke joint and turn them. So what ended up happening is that a brother gets out there, he's not paying attention, and he gets bit. Then he comes back to the juke joint and was like, hey, what's going on, man? Y'all just invite me up in. Come invite me in. And then they're like, they're about to have him come cross over the threshold. And the sister's like, hold up, why we gotta invite you in? You've been coming in and out of here all day. What you mean invite you in? Why don't you just walk in? Come on, man, just let me in. Tell me I can come in. This is what's happening. And he's like, you know what, fine, I done worked all day. Just give me my money. So dude give him the money. She's like, be careful. He tries to grab him and bite him. Point is that they end up getting infested with vampires of their own people. And that's what white supremacy does to us. That's all the movie was about. It was about people knowing who their enemy was and trying to be separate, and then people getting infected and then bringing that disease into our community to where now we don't even know who to protect. See, if the people who need protection are trying to protect everybody, the only outcome is death. That's it. And this is why Christ said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's letting it be known that they need my help. That's who I'm here to help. Nobody else. That's the point. But if you don't know history and what was going on at that time, then it's just like, yeah, he said that, but he changed his mind down the line because you got Paul. No, you just got to learn more. But let's keep reading. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 5. And they were scattered because there is no shepherd.
Right.
And they became meat to all the beasts of the field.
Now, this is the question. You have sheep, and then you have the sheep being meat. Meat means that they were dinner. They were the dinner for the beasts of the field. Now, I have a question, sis. You were very astute, and you said that the sheep represented people, right? Well, then who are the beasts of the field? Who do they represent?
The enemy, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if the sheep were people, then what are the beasts of the field?
Enemies.
But what are they? I'll ask somebody else. If the sheep were people, then what were the beasts of the field?
They were people as well.
People. They're people. See, when we say enemies, it's like, it's true. But, people call Satan an enemy, but they think that he's an invisible spirit. You got to watch out for the wiles of the enemy that you can't what? You can't see. People look for the devil in every other place than in front of their face. The ICE agents, the Bible says that hell and destruction were made for the devil and his angels. Well, guess what? Donald Trump is the devil. And guess who his angels are? The ICE agents. Those are the people that assist him. You understand? So the beasts of the field, the Lord is saying that these are my sheep. And then you have the beasts of the field, the other nations. Why am I saying that? Because your question is, well, who are those sheep of the other fold? Because in that chapter we were reading in John, it said that the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. But when the hireling, the person that's there for their own profit, sees the wolf, they run. That's what happened with Maduro. There's no way that 20 men can invade a sovereign country and kidnap the president if there weren't people on his administration that say, hey, you can come in at this time. He'll be over here in this location. Because the CIA love to pay people off. We'll give you $500,000. We'll give you $1 million. Oh, man, shoot, in pesos, I'm straight. I ain't like Maduro anyway. Had me running all his errands. When the hireling sees the wolf, listen, when they saw that Trump was coming and was threatening to come, it was like, look, man, I'm not trying to be here when they come. So I'm going to get out the way. But if the hirelings are supposed to be shepherds and they remove themselves from the protection of the flock, who becomes prey now? Who becomes meat? The people. That's what happens. Keep reading.
Verse 6. My sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill.
When you in Killeen, over here by the shelter and all over Killeen, what do you see? Them wandering. Looking for what? Protection. Looking to be for food. Even the leaders of this city, they don't care about the people. The leaders of most American cities, the people who do care, there is too many of those that don't care that have the power. You understand? The governor of Texas doesn't care about the people. He just cares about his people. You understand? Keep reading.
Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth.
You know, what was the town here in Texas, ABR, where that flood happened? Kerrville, Texas. In the midst of ICE agents hunting Latinos, I don't want to use the word Hispanic because I know with our Latino brothers and sisters, that word can be like misconstrued. So I'm just going to say Latinos. Our Mexican brothers were in Ecuadorians, Venezuelans, all of our South American, Latino brothers, Native Indian Latino brothers and sisters are being hunted by ICE. Kerrville experiences a flood, and Kerrville is known for their racism in Texas. They're known for their hatred of Latinos, Mexicans specifically, but all Latinos. While ICE is hunting our Latino brothers and sisters, you had Mexican firefighters from Mexico cross the border to come and search for the children that were missing, the white children that were missing, you understand, of the parents that hated them. and found, and then the sheriff who was at the forefront of the racism against our Latino brothers, they went and found his daughters. And then when he spoke out and said, "Man, I can't be racist against them no more," they crossed the border to come in and they saved my daughters. We would have never found them. And they came over, they crossed over the border with donkeys too, man. That was the crazy part. That's so spiritual. You know, our Mexican brothers and sisters, they're the tribe of Issachar, God's chosen people. And y'all's emblem is the donkey in the scriptures. You understand? It says that Issachar means he is hired, and he's the carrier of two burdens. Like, he's just strong. He can carry the weight. And we know that because the reason why America is great is because of our Latino brothers and sisters. They're building the highways and the roads. They're building the buildings and doing the construction, making all that great food. You know what I'm saying? Like and taking care of their families and raising children. They're a great people. They're our people. They're our family. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know that because of the lies of the oppressor, man. But the thing is that God's chosen people, we have compassion even for our enemies. But the problem is that you have to give that compassion to your people because they're the ones who need it. We need the help. We need the medicine. So when that woman, in that situation where Christ said, "I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel," it was a white woman coming to seek help for her child. But, you know, in Mark 7, it gives a more clear understanding of what happened. Christ said, "I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep." You know what I'm saying? He said let the children first be fed. You know what I'm saying? He said it's not fit to give the children's bread to the dogs. So then what was he calling her? If it wasn't fit, if the children had to be fed, he was talking about who?
He was talking about his people.
The Israelites were the children. Well, then who were the dogs?
It wasn't the Israelites.
It wasn't the Israelites. She that's okay. Freedom is in front of you. You'll get there. You know what I'm saying? You can free yourself and say, he was talking about the other races. He was talking about that white woman. And you know what the white woman said? She said, "Con, sir, but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table." And then Christ said, because of that saying, because you said that, go your way, your daughter's healed. Meaning that because you know your place, that my people are more important than you can have that. You can have that crumb. And that's how we got to be. You know that out here, we feed everybody. But who's our priority?
The Israelites.
Us, our people. Right? So even here in Ezekiel, they're distinguishing the beasts of the field from the sheep. Now drop down to the bottom. We're gonna find out who the sheep are, just to confirm it. Even though Christ said it, he's only saying what Ezekiel said, because the prophets, the law, Christ, the Most High, the angels, we're all on the same page. Nobody's deviating and going on to something different.
You reading on 6, sir?
No, I said go to the bottom, which I believe is verse. You can start at verse 30. Actually, hold on. Start at verse 28. And I'm how you drop down.
Okay. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, and verse 28. "And they shall be no more be a prey to the heathen."
To the who?
To the heathen.
To the who?
Heathen.
The heathen. "My people shall no more be a prey to the heathen." The East Indian, the Chinese, the African, the Arab, the Somali. You understand? The Caucasian. They'll no more be a prey to the heathen, right? Go ahead.
Kanawakan. "Neither shall the beasts of the land devour them."
The beasts of the land. The Lord calls the other nations beasts. That's how he looks at them, as beasts. That's what he calls them. Now drop down to verse 30.
Kanawakan, sir. Verse 30. "Thus shall they know that I, the Lord their God, am with them, and that they, even the house of Israel, are my people."
Who's God's people?
Even the house of Israel are my people.
No, God changed his mind after Christ died, because the veil was ripped and he made the two man into the one man.
even the house of Israel are my people.
That's who God's people are. God has a people, and it's the house of Israel. All right, keep reading.
Khan, saith the Lord God. Verse 31. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture.
Who's his flock?
And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men. And I am your God, saith the Lord God.
So he's telling you who the flock is, who the sheep are. It's men. And the men is the house of Israel and all their families, their wives and their children. That's who the Lord's people are. Give me James chapter 1, the first verse. You know, James was the brother of Christ, sis. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's right. He writes a letter. And James was around with Paul when Paul was there. But let's see what James said.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahushua.
Right.
To the 12 tribes.
To the who?
12 tribes.
To the who?
12 tribes. Which are scattered abroad.
What?
Which are scattered abroad.
Scattered like sheep. Go ahead.
Khan.
No, keep reading.
Khan. Which are scattered abroad, greeting.
That's who we greet. Greetings to the 12 tribes, the lost sheep. Christ was saying the same thing that Ezekiel. The reason why Christ said that is because he read Ezekiel. He knew the mission. And you can't have leaders in position to help the people if they don't know the agenda, if they don't know God's will. So even within our family, the nation of Israel, all so-called blacks, Latinos of indigenous descent, I have to say that because Spaniards are not Israelites. Spaniards are Europeans who speak Latin, who came and gave that tongue to the people that were known as the Aztecs, Incas, and Mayans. You understand? That's why they speak Spanish. The way that we were slaves and we speak English is why they speak Spanish. All of our common tongue is Hebrew. And that's why we teach all the 12 tribes that in this school. Right? Because we don't know our history. But that's the sheep of the other fold. And just real quick, if I could, give me 2 Kings 17 so I could just show it to her. Because I want to show right after Solomon did what he did and the Lord split the two kingdoms from the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. We got separated, and then the man that was over, there was a leader that was over the 10 tribes, which you would call them, like, you know, the 10 tribes would be like the Latino tribes, but it's also Gad, the Native Indians, right? Gad and Reuben, Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, you understand? All the other tribes, they were under a leader, and this leader was not he wasn't wise. And he turned them over into idolatry because they didn't want to be one with us no more. And the Lord judged them the same way he judged all of Israel. You got it, 2 Kings?
7 and 17.
Hold on, I want to find the exact verse. Give me 1 second.
Because
I want to get right to it so we can move on. And if there's any questions in the chat, let me know.
None yet, sir, but I got you.
2 Kings 17. I'll give you 1 second. Okay. Yeah. We'll start at verse 21. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 21. There were two different kingdoms now. You had the southern kingdom that was primarily Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. And you had the northern kingdom, which was the rest of the 10 tribes. All right. Judah, or the darker tribes, which would be like what you call the West Indians, the Negroes, and the Haitians, we weren't obeying the Lord either. But we didn't go as far as the 10 tribes did. So, but the Lord judged both of us. That's why Christ came to say that, you know, there's no more two men, it's now one man, meaning that all were concluded to be under sin. You understand? Judah just held out a little bit longer, but they ended up violating the Lord too. You understand? But this is where the 10 tribes violated. And this is what happened. Read.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 21.
Right.
For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord, and he made them sin a great sin.
Right. So Jeroboam, he became the king over the northern tribes, and the Lord tore them from us. We weren't, even though we were family, we weren't family no more. And then their leader made them go into deeper sin, because now it's like they're away from us, they're away from the temple that's in Jerusalem. They're off doing their own thing, and they're copying the other nations. And this is what happened. Keep reading.
Verse 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam.
Why? Because if the leader is evil, the people are going to be evil. Read.
Which he did. They departed not from them.
Right. That became their culture. His evil and wickedness became the culture. Go ahead.
Verse 23. Until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight.
Now, see, this is where things get confusing, because people see the word Israel and they assume it's the entire nation. But now you have the house of Israel and you have the house of Judah, who eventually by the other nations were called Jews. You understand? So we're all Israelites, but the house of Judah began to be referred to by the other nations as the Jews. But the Jew just means a descendant of the man Judah, the tribe of Judah. But because they were all together, Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, they were called the house of Judah. And the other 10 tribes were called the house of Israel. You understand? That's why he's saying it. Until the Lord removed Israel, the 10 tribes, out of his sight. Keep reading.
And he had said by all his servants, the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day.
They went into captivity in Assyria. This is where you have Jonah, because what it was the capital of Assyria, Nineveh. So when you're reading about the prophets, you got some prophets that are dealing with the northern kingdom, and you got some prophets dealing with the southern kingdom. You understand? So they're over there in Assyria, and they were there for 800 years. And I'm just going to shorten it up. I can show all this, but we're going to get into the other questions. When they got released from Assyria, they didn't come back to us. They said, we're going to make boats and travel over a great river to a land where no man never dwelt. Guess what that land was? A land where no man ever dwelt. What did Columbus say when he came here to America? What did he call it? He called it the New World. And what did he find here? People. But it was a place that no man had never dwelt. This is like thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. But our Latino brothers, they're Israelites. They're from Israel, but they don't know that. They think that their beginning is in the land of South America and America. And they are native to it in the sense that no man was here when they got there. But this is not where they come from. And this is all in the Bible. So they call themselves Mexican. They call themselves Ecuadorian. They call themselves Venezuelan. They call themselves Colombian. They call themselves Guatemalan, when really they're Israelites. They're the tribe of Asher. They call themselves Dominican and Puerto Rican. But they're the lost. They're the lost tribes of the house of Israel. So when Christ said, "I'm not sent but to them," he has to gather the sheep that are in another fold. We have to bring them all together. So when he got the disciples, he said, "Look, go into all nations, baptizing them." Because why? They were scattered into all nations. That's the gospel. It's the truth. And that's all we can give you here, y'all, is the truth. All right. Any questions?
Not yet, sir.
No? Okay. So, sis, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you want to get into what we was dealing with yesterday?
Yes.
And what question was that?
I really don't know how it came about. Okay, but it was relating to us coming back once we are gone. And I wasn't speaking in terms of, I just was trying to get some kind of understanding, because I don't believe in reincarnation. So I wasn't
Right.
talking about that, but just us coming back.
Coming back
What is
how?
meant by, no, I heard someone say that, so I wanted
Right. So
understanding.
right. And I understand, if you're raised in Christianity, the first thing they say is there's no such thing as reincarnation, which is an old thing, because there were Israelites that said that too, that Christ had to deal with. You understand? And we'll get to that. But when we say reincarnation, we don't mean like Hinduism. Like you die, you can come back as a butterfly based on your karma, or you can come back as a turtle or a hummingbird. Someone give me the definition of reincarnation or reincarnate. And just do Google. Don't go, you gotta go to the, I'm saying, just do Google. Reincarnate. And give me the adjective.
Con. Reincarnate, reborn in another body.
That's all it means. That's all it means, is to be born again into another body, right? So now I'm going to do what I always do, is just provide the evidence. What people choose to believe is up to them, okay? But reincarnation, which is really what the Bible doesn't use the word reincarnation. It uses the word regeneration. You understand? And what we're going to start off at is we're going to start in Ecclesiastes, okay? And give me Ecclesiastes chapter 1. And we're going to start there.
What verse?
I got you. One second. Start at verse 4.
Con. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
One generation passeth away,
Uh-huh.
and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
Right. One generation passes away. Right? And now they even name the generations, like what they call them, boomer babies, and Gen Z and Gen X, and what's the latest one? Z, the latest one?
I think it's Z.
Z
would be my generation.
Yeah, so you understand? So a generation passes and another generation comes, and a generation is a set amount of time where a set amount of people are alive. Right? Keep reading.
Con. Verse 5. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose.
So this is Solomon talking, right? Solomon's trying to explain something. He says he's talking about people, sis. He's talking about people, but now he's going to use things that are in our world to explain. The subject is people in generations. That's what he's talking about. But he's going to start to use how the world is structured to explain how things actually operate in the spirit world, right? And in the physical world. So now he uses the sun, which we see what? Every day. The sun rises, then it goes down, then that same sun, what? Comes back where it was at, right? He's going to give another example. Read.
Con. Verse 6. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits.
Right. A circuit is a path, like a circuit board. You know, the electrical charge moves to a circuit board, but circuits, before it was used for electronics, was talking about the pathways in the ocean and the pathways in the sky, right? The paths of the wind. So he says the wind goes from the north to the south, then it travels its circuits, meaning from east to west, then it returns back to the north. So that, but it's the what? It's the same. Somebody help me. It's the same what?
It's the same wind.
It's the same wind. It's moving, but it comes back. It's the same wind. Like it's the same sun. Keep reading.
Verse 7. All the rivers run into the sea. Yet the sea is not full.
Right.
Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again.
They what?
Thither they return again.
Thither. Thither means that they will. Thither they return again. So the rivers leave out from the lakes, they go into the ocean, but then they return right back to where they came from. And it's the same what? It's the same river. It's the same water, even though it's moving. Right? Keep reading. Oh, that's it. Drop that and give me go to verse 9, same chapter.
Sir. Verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
I need you to slow down, because you're kind of reading where it's like compressing it. It says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. So the thing that was is the thing that's going to be. Like the wind, it leaves, but it's coming back. The sun, it rises, goes away, but it comes back. Solomon is giving a lesson. Okay? Read.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Right. The thing that was done already, it's going to be done again. And I'm going to get into that. Keep reading.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Read that again.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Read it one more time.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
So I have a question for you, sis. Are you under the sun? Okay. So now, if we say that people don't regenerate and come back, then you would have to be something new that nobody ever seen you before, that you're a brand new thing in the earth. But the word of God says that there is what?
And there is no new thing under the sun.
There is no new thing under the sun. There's no new thing. I'm gonna keep this practical. You ever see a baby be born, right? And then you got family members that say, that baby got an old soul. The baby comes out and it look like it's looking around like, man, I'm back here again. Or something in the eyes like, man, it's like it got something old in it. That's something that we say culturally, but we don't even know what we're saying. You ever hear like when black people complain to white people, what do white people always say when we talk about slavery? I never did it. But we be like, you hanged us. You lynched us, right? You murdered us. You unalived us. You slaughtered us. You massacred us. Why are we saying it? Why are we talking like that? Why is it so strong in us? You hung us from trees. You lynched us. Verse 10, keep reading.
Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
He's asking the question, can you point to anything, right, and say this is new? We've never seen this before? But we think that. What are people saying right now? This 2025, it's 2026. Right. We in a new generation now because they think that what they're seeing is new. But it's not, because there is no new thing. But if you don't believe the Bible, then I guess that's what you would think to yourself. Keep reading.
It hath been already of old time, which was before us.
Now the question is, which is a practical question, is that, well, if we've been here before, how come we don't what? If I've been here before, then why don't I? Somebody help me. I need some help.
Remember.
Say that again, Art.
Remember.
That would be the practical question. Well, if I've been here before, how come I don't remember? How come I don't remember? Read.
Verse 11. there is no remembrance of former things.
There's no remembrance of former things, because imagine that. Imagine what we got to deal with in terms of the trauma that we experienced in one life. Imagine you come back remembering all your former lives and all the trauma and pain that you went through. This is not our first time in slavery here in America. We were in slavery under many nations. We were under Greek captivity, Roman captivity, the Persian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Assyrian captivity. Every time we come back, guess what we are, sis? Slaves. Because you know why? Every time we come back, we're hard-headed and we're stiff-necked against the Lord and keeping his commandments. So the Lord shows us mercy. And when we come back, we don't remember, because you would have to be put into a hospital, probably in a rubber room with a straitjacket, remembering all your former lives. Now, there are some aberrations, because you got some kids that come back talking about, there's one kid that came back and said he was in 9/11. He said, I was 45 years old and he was 6 years old telling his mom what happened. And he was like, what the? And he was giving the whole story. It's on there. And like, there's no way he can know this. He wasn't even alive. Like, this doesn't make sense. We don't let him watch TV. You understand? But, you got little glitches. But the Lord shows us mercy and we don't remember, but we still feel in our soul the pain. You understand? So there's no remembrance of former things. Now, go ahead and go to, give me chapter 3.
Same book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chapter 3, verse 15.
Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been.
So the thing that's coming has already been. So people be having kids, right? And they think their kids are like new and these are my children, when really they're like your great-great-grandparents. That's a fact. And what's so spiritual, I don't want to get too heavy into it, but this is why the Lord emphasized so much in teaching the children the law, statutes, and commandments. He said, write it on your walls, put it on your posts. You know what I'm saying? He said, teach them, speak to them when you're in front of your house, tell them about the laws. Why? Because the children you're raising are going to end up what? Somebody help me. The children that you're raising are going to, they're going to end up what?
Taking care of you.
They're going to end up raising you. See, we wonder why people always talk about generational curses, right?
Right.
They don't understand. You want to smoke weed in front of your kids.
Right.
Then your kids go out there and start drinking lean. And then they go have kids. And then you come back into 2 generations later and you're in what? You're in hell. Because you couldn't keep the commandments. You didn't teach your kids to fear God. Now you return back into a family that does not fear God, and you're cursed. Because nobody is being a what, sis? What have we been talking about all day or all night in this class? Nobody's a what? A leader. Everybody's just weak. Everybody's falling prey to their own personal lusts and desires, and your children suffer. And because your children suffer, you're going to suffer. And then we suffer because of our sins. We actually build the house or the broken house that we're going to live in that's going to fall down on us. That's the truth. Keep reading.
Con. And that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past.
God requires that which is past. See, we think that we can. You ever ask yourself, this person was out there just doing all this wickedness and he got money and lived this life and then he just died. And then we say, oh, he's going to burn in hell. But nobody puts that on the flyers on the funerals.
Right.
Everybody get wings is in the clouds. You know somebody was a drug dealer. The person, he's in the box because somebody shot him.
Right.
And they put wings and halos on their heads. So if everybody believes in hell, how come ain't nobody talking about who went to hell when you knew how they lived? You dig what I'm saying? Nobody does that. Everybody assumes that, you know, they're gonna make it to heaven. You know what I'm saying? When really that's not what happens. The hell that you experience is here on the earth. It's about to show it to you right now. Keep reading.
Verse 16. And moreover,
Hold on. I want you to read what Solomon is saying. Solomon is saying is that God requires that which is past. And also, someone give me that don't fear man that can kill the body. One of y'all pull that up. Kahanga Bar, one of y'all. Don't fear man that can kill the body. Now listen, he's saying God requires that which is past. He's about to show you where the Lord deals with you. Because the Christian belief is that God deals with you as a ghost or a spirit in some world that you can't see. When everything is happening here on the earth. Read.
Verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment.
Where does judgment happen at according to the Bible? Sis? According to what the scripture says, where does it happen at? Read again,
And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment.
Where does judgment occur at? The judgment of God. Where does it happen at? Under the sun. Right. So when you do wrong, he brings you back to live out that judgment. Yeah. Keep reading.
That wickedness was there.
Right.
And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
Right. What does that mean? Meaning that for the people that do evil, when they come back, they're going to suffer that. But there's also people that do what's right. And they come back and they get positioned for that. They get a reward for that. Like right now, my brother, Officer Barakyad, him and his wife just had 2 children. Barakyad is a priest of God. He's a priest and prophet of God. And whatever his children did in their former life, the Lord has rewarded them with being raised under a priest and prophet of God. And Lord allow, when Christ returns, they're going to go straight into the kingdom. So whatever they did before, it put them in this position, a place of righteousness, a place where you're being raised under a righteous leader.
Right.
Priest and Officer Caucasai. He has 3 daughters. Whatever they did before, it put them to be placed up under him right now. And he is a shepherd. He watches over the sheep. Not just his, but the nation.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So whatever they did, it must have pleased the Lord because now they're safe. They're under somebody that's going to provide them safety and protection. But even though they're under him, guess what he has to deal with? Child sex trafficking. YouTube videos that are being shown to children, but have alternative lifestyle, LGBTQ stuff in the videos. So now what does he have to do? Even though they were born into a place of righteousness, what? Iniquity is there. He has to protect them from that. Why? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They're in rulership right now. And when the wicked are in power, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And that's what Christ is coming to do. He's coming to put new leaders in position so the people can be safe, even our enemies. They're going to learn war no more. That's what the scriptures say. All their weapons of war are going to be turned into agricultural mechanisms. Right. And you're going to be out there working the fields, using the earth for what it was made for, to produce food and farm. And we're going to rule over you in righteousness, and you're going to be happy for it. When you have Black, Latino, and Native Indian overlords ruling over you. That's a fact. What else is anything on that?
That was it on 16, sir. If you
No,
want.
no, you can read 17. Go ahead.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work.
There is the earth. For there is a time there in the earth for every purpose and every work. Here in the earth. Now, give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 10, just to go ahead and seal this thing up. The same chapter, the same book.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said
Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. No sweat. Does anybody else got it?
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6 and verse 10.
Put it on the screen. Okay.
That which hath been is named already.
Remember, it said that there's a thing that has been, that will be. He's saying that thing that has been named already. We're going to find out what is that thing that has been, that will be. Read.
And it is known that it is man.
That's Solomon saying we come back. He went through all that, using all the different analogies to explain that we come back. Keep going.
Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he.
Who is mightier than man? Help me.
The Most High God.
The Most High God, sis. Give her a hand. You understand? What Solomon is saying is that you can't contend with him. It's a phrase that, I spent a little time in Jersey. It's like a tri-state East Coast phrase, but it's your arms are too short to box with God, right? You can't contend with him. You can't fight him. You may live your life and think that you got away with it, but he's going to bring you back, and you can't contend with the condition that he puts you in. You can't contend with it. So you better live your life in a way to where you respect and fear him. Now, who I asked for that, Kahanga Bar, give me that, you know what I'm talking about.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which killed the body.
Right, because a lot of people they'll use people as an excuse for what they do, how they live their lives. And what the priest Kahanga Bar is saying is that don't fear them which can kill the body. This is what Christ is saying. He's reading the words of our King. He's saying, don't fear him that can kill the body. Read.
But are not able to kill the soul.
Right, because the soul can't be killed. You ever heard that phrase? They say energy can't be destroyed, only transferred. Can't destroy the soul, but it can be put somewhere else. Right? Read.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Now, I have a question. This is a question that I have. Because we get taught in Christianity that your spirit goes to hell, right? That's what we get. Okay, I'm gonna talk to somebody else. Let me talk to my honest former Christians. What are we taught about where the spirit goes if you did evil and you die? That it goes where?
To hell.
To hell, right? But where is your body at? Go ahead. It's in the grave. So your body's in the grave, but your spirit is in hell. But let's read that again. The last portion. Go ahead.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
DJ. I'm sorry, Kahanga Bar, Baba Kashaf, you could, please.
Khan. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
So wait a minute. If your spirit is what goes to hell, and hell is a spiritual place where the demons are at and where the devil is at, how is your body getting destroyed in hell? Your soul in everlasting torment. But Christ is saying both your soul and body in hell, because hell is not a place that you go to when you die. It's a place that you get put in, a condition you get put in when you come back to earth, because that's where your soul, I mean, where can you only have a soul and a body at? Can you tell me? Sometimes it's just good to say it.
It's here on earth.
Right, because confession is good. Give her a hand. Confession is good for the soul. Sometimes it's like a psychological thing. Sometimes you can hear something like, oh man. But when you say it, right? If you confess and believe in your heart.
But just what you explain is just what I believe. That's what I've been taught. It's that, when we die, we all appear before God.
Okay.
And he's the judge.
Right.
And he will determine whether you coming back here on earth, like according to scripture.
Mm-hmm.
Or
what's the or? Mm-hmm. There ain't no or. But give her a hand. She's absolutely correct. The scriptures say that when you die, the spirit returns to him that made it. You return back to the Most High, and you are judged there. But it's like going to court, right? You go into a courtroom, you get charged, your charges get read to you. They determine whether or not you're either innocent or you are guilty of the crime, right? And then if it's determined that you're guilty, you don't stay in the courtroom. You don't serve out your sentence in the courtroom. Either you're declared innocent and you're released, you're exonerated, or you go to serve your time in prison, or you go to serve, you go on death row or wherever, but you don't serve it in the courtroom. Heaven is the courtroom, right? But you have to serve out your time and punishment here on earth. That's the truth of the Bible. You understand? But like I said, heaven and hell have multiple manifold meanings. So hell biblically is the grave. It's where your body goes, right? And to show you that hell is a condition, we're going to deal with that first. Give me Jonah, the book of Jonah. And to show you that hell is not, even though we know this, you got soldiers that go over to wars and they say, man, war is hell. You understand? People that are in third world countries that are like I'm sure for the people that was dealing with that, what was that massacre they had in, what's the name of that African country? Rwanda. They were running around with machetes and just hacking people up. And people had to hide, and if they, kids had to be hidden. And I think it was the Hutus and Tutus, and it was just a horrible thing that was going on. For those kids that was watching people getting hacked by machetes, they were living in hell. Their kids they're coming to chop us in pieces. My mother just got chopped. I have to hide in the closet and watch my mother and my father get chopped with machetes. That's hell. I seen a documentary where the girl survived. They brought her to America. She has a slice across her face from a machete. They hit her in the face with the machete and cut her face, and she lived. She escaped. And she's like 13 and with a scar across her face, no hair, and watched her parents get chopped up and her brothers and sisters. All her family's gone. Her life is a living
hell.
Yeah. But the easiest people to deceive are the people that are children. Children, this is why you ever wonder why they play these silly movies like Cinderella and all these little silly things for kids, like Christmas, teaching kids about Santa Claus and elves. Parents lie to their kids from the get-go.
Right.
And the parents are now adults and they know it's not real, but they still lie to the children. Well, guess what? Because the parents are children, and then they're being lied to by the leaders, by the religious leaders, the pastors. You die and go to heaven. You die and go to hell. Is that in the Bible? Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. Right. Nothing at all. It's fables, mythology. God comes down from heaven and gets a woman pregnant, and then there's this demigod son that can do miracles. You never heard that before? Zeus leaving off of Mount Olympus to have sex with a woman on the earth, and then she has what? Hercules. What was his name? Perseus, whatever that. They got a little movie about it now. Perseus and the Odyssey of Perseus, whatever his name is. These little half gods. That's Greek mythology. And guess who the Israelites were under? The Greeks. And that's what we always do. Whoever's ruling over us and has us in slavery, we conform the thing that was given to us to make our lives to cope with the thing that we're dealing with in slavery under them. That's what happens. So I mean, if I was a I thank the Lord that I'm not, but if I was a so-called white man, I was a slave master, yeah, I would raise up a young black man and teach him the Bible and say, look, man, I know it's hard here now, but when you die, you'll be in the sweet by and by. The Lord gonna judge all the evil, and he gonna deal with it then. But for right now, pick that cotton, or I'm gonna sell your mother. You remember that? Yeah, I would say that. Brother, if you got something you want to say, you can definitely say it. Just raise your hand, and we'll get you a mic. Right. When you want to make a statement, you just do this. Show me. You do that, and then the brothers will give you a mic, and then you can go ahead and speak. All right, go ahead.
Yes, I would just like, this is, I've been doing a lot of reading in the Bible, and I just been enjoying putting the books back, and yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah.
No problem, man. Get that brother a hand. And it's good. It's good to see you again, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you keep coming, man. And when you come, bring your questions too. So yeah, you got that, Jonah? Let me see. What do I want? Go down.
This is on.
Let me see. I gotta. What's before Jonah? Joe? Is it before Nehemiah? Or is it after Nehemiah?
Obadiah is before Jonah, but
you said Obadiah is?
Kanawakaza.
With you. So I want something in particular. Just raise your hand. Raise your hand. Let me see. No, say Jonah. Let me see what you got. I need the.
Okay. I'm in the first chapter.
That's right, sis Sathara. That's right. On earth. On earth. Over here now. Brother, if you had a question, go ahead. Just raise your hand. Go ask your question.
I read a lot of Esther.
You said what now?
Read a lot of Esther.
Esther?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's coming up. The memorial of Purim.
I was thinking of, I was talking about the levels. Levels.
I'm listening.
Numbers and Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the levels of E. Oh, I'm thinking about a launcher. Never mind.
This chapter 2
it's
I'm listening.
I see what I like. Wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom in Ecclesiastes, all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Numbers and Psalms.
Right.
I've seen a lot of the text come out of Psalms and Proverbs.
Right.
And that's all guns with money.
So what's the last part you said?
Money.
I can't hear you. You gotta speak clear.
Matthew.
The book of Matthews.
Right.
I mean, the whole Bible is the wisdom of God. You understand? But if you were to sum up all the wisdom of God, what do you think that is? If you had to combine everything, in all the books. What do you think how would you sum it up in one sentence? The wisdom of God. What is the wisdom of God, and how do we just in one sentence? What is all those books and all that wisdom? What should we as God's people be? What? I can't hear you. You gotta put the mic to your mouth.
Supper.
Supper. What does that mean?
It having content in relation, being down to earth, being supper.
Well,
how we should relish.
Okay, give me Ecclesiastes, the last chapter. Well, one of y'all give it to me, Carl, because quickly.
In our relationships,
brother, I'm gonna show you what the whole of the wisdom of the Bible is and what it all comes down to. All right, somebody get me that. It should be like the last verse in the last chapter. This is all those books: Numbers, Deuteronomy, Genesis, Matthew, Esther. Right? It's one thing that you should be drawing from all of that. It's one thing that you should be coming to understand. Because see, the Bible says that the studying on many books, it's a weariness of the flesh, because you're looking at all this information and it's called an information overload. Right? Right now you got all this conspiracies coming out on social media. Right? All these different things, flat Earth, and did the astronauts go land on the moon, and all this evidence and information. It's just all this knowledge, right? It's an information age. But with all this information, people don't know how to do what's right. People just want to know for the sake of knowing. But that's not the God of heaven and earth, the God of Israel. He doesn't do things without a purpose. He didn't have the prophets to write down these records for us to wonder what does he want. He's going to tell you very clearly. Go ahead, Ak.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments.
Do what?
Fear God and keep his commandments.
You should fear God. If you want to be wise, fear God, meaning respect the power. We just read it. Don't fear man that could put a gun in your head and blow your head off. Don't fear him. Fear the power that can bring you back into this earth and put you in a horrible condition for not doing the thing that he said to do. He didn't want you to have a weak mind, to be affected by anything that comes, like, being blown with the wind in any direction. Somebody comes say this, oh man, that sound heavy. Oh, then somebody else comes say this 3 days later, man, that could be true too. The Lord doesn't want you to be wishy-washy and topsy-turvy. He wants you to be anchored and grounded. A singleness of focus. So he made it very simple. Read it again, Ak.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
The conclusion of the whole matter. Of all the books that you read of the Bible, he only wants you to understand one thing. Read.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments. It's that simple. Do what God says to do in these records. Right. Just do that. That's all you got to do. If you do that, you ain't got to be super smart, have a college degree. You don't need all that, because he didn't give this to the wise and the prudent. He gave it to the babes, to the children. That's who he's going to teach his wisdom. People that come like a little child. A little child doesn't argue. When you tell the child this is the color red, the child says that's red. You tell a child this is green, that's green. This is blue, that's blue. This is the sun. Oh, that's the sun. That's the moon. Okay, that's the moon. This is earth. And you know it too, because when they draw their pictures, what do? They draw a little ground with the earth. They draw the sun in the sky. You be like, that's a house. They'll draw a house. You know who argues? Children don't argue. They just learn. People who think that they're adults who are really children in their minds, they argue because they can't focus on one thing. They have to entertain everything. And it's usually about peer pressure. People People that are concerned about, reading a whole bunch of different things, in most cases, it's because they want to impress other people with their knowledge. But Paul said, I don't come in the power and the wisdom of man. I come in the power. I don't come in the wisdom of man and man's speech. I come in the power of God, which means the authority of God. What you doing, brother? You was what? Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah. I enjoyed myself.
All right.
Yeah.
No sweat. You take care. I understand. He didn't want to burden us with all that wisdom and knowledge. You understand? No sweat. Go ahead, sis.
You have time for one more question?
Of course. I wanted to read something, but go ahead.
Okay.
But I wanted to finish reading this in Jonah chapter 2 to explain to you that that hell is a condition, not a place that you go to when you die. You can start at chapter 2, verse 1.
Oh, come on, sir. This is the book of Jonah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly.
So where is Jonah located at? In the belly of a what?
Fish.
Right, a fish, a large fish. And this fish got to be where? Where's the fish located?
In the sea.
In the sea. And where is the sea at?
It's on earth.
It's on the earth. Okay, I just want to make sure. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And he heard me
out
of the belly of hell.
Out of the what?
Out of the belly of hell.
Oh, my.
Cried I, and thou heardest my voice.
Right. Keep reading.
Verse 3. For thou hast cast me into the deep, in the midst of the seas, and the floods compassed me about. All thy billows and thy waves passed over me.
Jonah is inside of a fish's stomach with all the, Captain Yadazai went into this really heavy, all the fish guts and whatever it's eating, seaweed, and he's inside this thing. He's in the stomach of a fish, and it's just, and he's in there for 3 days. So, even when you cook fish, I love fish, man. Rakim said fish is my favorite dish. That's mine. I love some fried fish. You know what I'm saying? But even when you cooking it, it's that smell. You got to get it up in that flour and that cornmeal quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother Aban, he's the one that deals with the fine mingled oils and the birds. You got to get in that grease, because if you leave fish to sit even for a little bit, that smell. Now he's in a fish's stomach with other dead fish and other seaweed, and he's in that, and it feels like hell. Hell. And it's just showing you that hell is a condition. It's not a place that you go to when you die, unless you're talking about your body going to the grave. You understand? So I'm ready for your question.
Oh, okay. Before the question, so why are we born in hell?
Wow, that's a great question. Yeah, go ahead. Please. That's a great question. Give her a hand. That's an excellent question. Why are we born in hell? Good night.
Colonel Wakan, sir, this is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 57.
Okay.
Verse 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer it after death.
Read that again. Give him a hand. That's an excellent precept. Good night. Excellent precept. Read that again.
Colonel Wakan, this is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
Says, what does that mean? Actually, I'll break that down.
Colonel Wakan, sir. So to answer the sister's question that she asked, well, why are we born in hell, is because we're reliving out of judgment, but we're living out of judgment for something prior, our prior life. So like,
Sis, you understand that? You want him to read it again?
I understand.
Right. We're born. Read that one more time, Hawk, if you could.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
Yeah, we live and we're down here living and being wicked, doing all this, going against God's commandments, eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You know what I'm saying? Killing our brothers, selling drugs, doing drugs, sleeping with other men's wives leaving their husbands. You know what I mean? Bouncing on whatever, Salakia, entertaining other men, right? And we don't think that after we die, we're going to pay for it. Because if Christians really believed in hell, then why are the Christian pastors sleeping with other men's wives in the congregation? They don't really fear God. They don't really believe in hell. Christian pastors, if they really believed in hell, why would they be taking the money of the people and using it to buy mansions and these cars, knowing that Christ is coming back? They don't believe in, like when you see a T.D. Jakes, a Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, you have to know that they don't believe in God, not the God of the Bible. If you read this Bible and you could do that in front of God, you have what? Know what? Somebody help me. Go ahead, sis.
You have no fear, but they don't know God.
Oh my goodness! Say it again. Give her a hand. Hold on. You have no what?
Fear.
No fear. And in order to serve God, you have to what?
It's too much for me.
You have to fear him. You have to fear him. You have to fear means you respect his power. You believe that whatever I do, I'm going to answer for it, either now or when I come back. But I can't escape his judgment. That's the verse before it?
Come on, sir.
Just go ahead and read 22 then, Salakia.
Come on, sir.
That's right, sis. Sister Sathara. Fear him. That's a fact. Go ahead, read that.
Khan, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 22.
Somebody give me that the Lord is angry every day. And then someone else give me that the Most High hates sinners. Give me that. Somebody give me that.
Khan.
Go ahead.
For a fire is kindled in mine anger.
See, a fire gets kindled in his anger. When you violate when God sets up his commandments and he tells them to you and you know them, even when you don't, when you violate his law, it's like people look at God as like this like soft, kind, like Santa Claus character or something, when really he's a serious black man. And when I say black man, I don't mean physical, but the Bible says that the Lord is a man of war. But he does have a body, he does have hair, and it says he's the color of like amber. He's not playing. You know, like imagine a person in your neighborhood, you know, a brother that he handled things, you know, he said, I'm finna go get that iron, that hot iron. You know, you're like, okay, it's time to leave it. It's time to go to the house. It's finna be some trouble out here. That's the Lord. Like you playing with, the Lord got the most bodies in all of eternity. He got bodies upon bodies upon bodies. He has no problem taking you out of here. None at all. And people play in his face. So he says, for a fire is kindled in my anger. Read.
And shall burn unto the lowest hell.
And shall burn. His anger is going to burn to the lowest hell, meaning that he's going to put you in a condition that's going to satisfy his anger. He's going to put you in a position to where, oh, okay, I feel good. I'm all right now. Now if they don't understand, they're going to understand. They didn't hear me in this life when I was telling him, like sending the prophets to him. Oh, when they come back, God, why is this happening to me? Why is my life all messed? How come my prayers is? And you think your prayers is new? Hey, listen, what do people say in the earth, Akim? Hey, if God was real, then how come these kids is born with all these deformities?
Right.
How come kids is getting put in microwaves and in ovens? Why is there wars if there's a God? Hey, somebody give me that. Isaiah 45, whatever, or 40. I create the. Give me that. Somebody give me that. Keep reading, Knock.
Con. And shall burn unto the lowest hell.
Uh-huh.
And shall consume the earth with her increase.
Uh-huh.
And set on fire the foundations of the mountains.
He's the creator of heaven and earth, and you're playing in his face like he won't do something. Trump think he's God. Trump believes that he's the only power. That it's just them. You know why? Because the Lord ain't done nothing yet. But the Lord is doing things. He's working all the time, man. And really, the Lord is holding back for our sakes. That's it. Because he wants his children to be gathered together. He's trying to give his servants and his children that are lost the time and opportunity to get their act together before he comes back, man.
Right.
Because the Bible says that judgment begins in the house of the Lord first. And so he says, if judgment begins with us, where would the sinner appear? Who got the Most High is hate sinners? Who got that?
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hated sinner.
He what?
For the Most High hated sinners.
He hates sinners. He hates people that break his commandments and his law. And the crazy part is the Christian church tells you that God don't hate the sinner. He just hates the sin.
Right.
But what did God say?
For the Most High hated the sinner.
He hates him. Go ahead.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly.
He will repay vengeance to the ungodly. And that's what you're reading right here in Deuteronomy 32 and 22 is vengeance. And it's anger. That ain't going to be satisfied until he executes that vengeance. Who got God is angry every day?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 11. God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
Every day. The Most High, he's good night. He's on fire. And guess what? So is Christ. And the only thing that's holding him, see, this is the thing. Some people, they praying for Christ to come back. They praying for the day of the Lord, but they don't know what they're asking for. They don't know what's coming with that. And that's why the Father he's waiting. Because guess what? If he sends Christ and you wasn't up in here, he wants to get his people out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna show it to you. Give me Zephaniah. You know what I want. Gather all. Yeah, give me that. I'm gonna show you something. The Lord is angry, but he's trying to get his sheep together before he let Christ loose. Go ahead.
This is the book of Zephaniah.
Read it with some strength, Art.
Sir. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. The nations that are not desired, so-called Negroes, Latinos of indigenous descent, and Native Indians, you're nations that are not desired. But guess who desires you? The Most High does. The God of heaven and earth, the God of Israel, he desires you. And he's telling you to separate yourself from these people, these heathens. Gather yourself together. Read.
Verse 2. Before the decree bring forth.
Before the what?
Decree bring forth.
You know what a decree is, sis? A decree is a command by a king. He makes a decree. It's like law. Like he issues out a decree. Right now, Trump has issued a decree to what? To deport all of our brothers and sisters, right? Our Latino brothers and sisters out of the country. And what's happened? The ICE agents have went forth to get that done. But the Lord's going to issue a decree. But he's saying, gather yourselves together. My people, come together before the decree goes forth. What decree? Read.
Before the day pass as the chaff.
As the chaff. Chaff is, you got wheat, right? Well, when we would gather the wheat into the barn, we would beat the wheat, and because there's a part that we don't need called chaff, and the chaff would get blown away by a fan because it's worthless. He's saying before the day passed as the chaff, which is nothing, right? Go ahead.
Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
He's saying, get up in here, get in line, become part of the body, get your name before the judgment comes. Because at that point, I can't do nothing for you. All I can do is send my prophets out to tell you to come in. Go into the highways and the byways, call out to the sick, to the disabled, to the weak. Come in. Our Father's preparing a feast. Come. That's our job. But you know what people said? I don't know. I got to go take care of over here first. I'll see y'all later. Okay. But when we see you, what are we saying? Come. Everything's ready. It's all prepared. What's ready and prepared? The truth. We have everything that you need right here. You'll be safe. You'll be protected. And you'll be fed with the knowledge of God. Go ahead, Doc. Yeah. Just hold that. Let me go ahead and finish reading this. And it says, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Because why? Hey, somebody give me that the sinful kingdom. Someone give me that. Read.
Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Because if you don't get in here and gather yourself together, then you're out there with them. Keep reading.
Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord.
Right. To seek the Lord means to go to his prophets, to get the knowledge of God, to be able to do the thing where God can have peace with you, to where he's going to like, okay, yeah, all right, he's good, she's good. All right. Keep reading.
All ye meek of the earth.
Right.
Which have wrought his judgment.
Right.
Seek righteousness.
Right.
Seek meekness.
Right.
It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
If I could, it may be, it's possible that you shall be hid in the day of the Lord's what? Read it, Art.
That ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
The day of the Lord's anger. Because it's coming. And guess what that day is? Christ's return. Keep reading.
Verse 4.
Oh, never mind. That's it.
I
was looking for where he's going to hide you in the chambers, but I thought that was in that scripture. Who got what I'm the one I was asking for?
I got it. Book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom.
They're what?
The eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom.
Sis, do you know what the eyes of the Lord are? The angels of God. Remember we were discussing Sodom yesterday? Those are the eyes of the Lord. The eyes of the Lord are the angels. And they're giving reports on everything that's going on to the Most High. Not just what these governments are doing and what the heathen nations are plotting against God's people, but they're also giving reports on what we're doing and how we're living. You understand? But his eyes are upon the sinful kingdom. What's the sinful kingdom that the eyes of the Lord are watching right now? You got a hint? Well, yeah, give her a hand. That's true. But the church is not a kingdom. America. The angels are watching America and all the evil that they're doing to our Latino brothers. All the unaliving of innocent black people being shot down by the police, being locked up in prison on false charges. The angels see all of it. And guess what? The eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. Keep reading.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
He will do what?
I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
What's going to happen to America?
I will destroy it from off of the face of the earth.
Keep reading.
Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
Oh, see, now look, sis, you see that? Read that again, Art.
Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. saith the Lord.
Because the Lord is trying to save us from the destruction he's going to bring to America and to the rest of this planet, all these other kingdoms. He wants to save the house of Jacob. Who is the house of Jacob, sis? The Israelites, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Jacob had 12 sons, and his name was changed to Israel. So you're absolutely correct. Give her a hand. The Israelites. So that's our job, is to go and get our people, because when Christ returns, sis, it's going to be a dark day. And I could go get that scripture, but we are over the time. I didn't realize it. So we're going to go ahead and close out on that. Did you have any more questions? Okay. Well, if you do, we can address those tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We passed the time. I'm going to go ahead and just do the salute. With that, I Imajim. Of Israel, I Imajim Shabbat, I Imajim Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, Rakatah, Gazmatah, Sar, turn, face the sisters. Sisters, please stand. Of Israel, I Imajim Shabbat, I Imajim Barak, Yahweh, Shemar, Shem Yahweh, Yahweh, Shamar, Alatan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh class dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.